Hey folks, it's Dag, and I wanted to do an update on the plane that I call the Lead Sled. And the reason I'm doing this is I get a lot of questions at the airfield or the flying field. I got a bunch of questions at CEF about it. But folks, this is a plane I've been flying for quite a few years now. I bought it off a friend who works with the AMA, and it started as an Avanti S. And right out of the box, it's one of the greatest flying EDFs I've ever flown in my life. It is so stable. It's so predictable. But me being Dag, I always have to mess with airframes. So I fiberglassed this plane and painted it camouflage, and it did add a lot of weight. And that was one of my experiments with this plane, was see how heavy I could get it, and it still fly great. I like flying heavy airplanes, believe it or not, folks. And I then got tired of the camouflage because you really can't see this airplane if it was a cloudy day. It was a bitch to see. So I decided I'm going to basically take my time and really fill in all the fiberglass cloth and all the resin and make sure that you try my best that you don't see the weave. Now, you can still see through this a little bit that it's a styrofoam airplane. But, folks, you just got to take your time and patience if you really want to try to make planes look more scale or make the finish look more smooth. And man, I put so much primer and filler on this and sanded, and it was just crazy what I did to this airplane, folks. But keep in mind, I've always liked to experiment with planes. I like to see, if I can push the envelope, because, there's so many people saying, and I've even done videos on wing loading, and that's a very generic way of looking at the way a plane flies. But if you're a novice or a beginner, you want light wing loads. This flies like a lead sled. But I probably ended up with 10 to 20 coats of primer on it before I got it sanded the way I wanted to put this Krylon silver on the plane, which I think looks just kick ass. I love this silver. I try to put it on every airplane that I can get away because it's really nice. And you can kind of burnish this a little bit if you're careful. Now, if you rub this silver too much, it turns into a very dull silver and almost like a titanium looking type finish. But folks, this airplane started out, I think I started out at about 6.25 pounds out of the box with the size battery, which was a 55 milliamp battery. And now it weighs almost 8 pounds. So it is a lot heavier than stock. The thing about it is that the stall fences that came on the airplane, I took those off and 3D printed a little bit deeper stall fences on the wing. I don't know if that helps a lot, but even at almost 8 pounds, this thing still flies beautiful. However, I'm flying a 6,000 milliamp pack in it because you do need to have a higher throttle setting when you got a lead sled. And you also need to you got to fly the wing, folks. If you're not good at flying fast, high performance airplanes, this at 8 pounds, you probably don't want to fly. My slow flight, though, is very predictable. I like to get up and see how slow I can fly planes before they stall. And the stall is very predictable in this. It doesn't roll on its back or do anything completely wonky. I do have a flex aura in here because it really helps in the wind and, it keeps the plane stable. And I know there's people that love, the aura, and people who say, oh, no, you can't have any kind of stabilization or you're a turd. I really don't care what anybody says. It's my hobby. It's my money. They can kind of kiss my ass. But the thing is that, folks, if you want a really cool airplane that you can really just mess around with, and I know these are technically discontinued. There's like the Avanti 2 now. But if you can find one of these, you can pretty much do anything you want to it. I mean, the only thing I've got left to this, now keep in mind, folks, I want to back up from it. I had a lot of people say the silver and yellow look like crap. And they didn't realize where I was going with it. And when I started putting the Cali graphics on it, then everybody goes, oh, this looks a lot better. Now, if you still think it looks like crap, again, I don't care. You can follow your opinion with all the other opinions that I don't care about. But this airplane, I think, is super sexy now. It flies really good. The only thing left I want to do is put missile pods under each of the wings, kind of like an A-10 Warthog would carry, all those missiles under the wings. That's the only modification I want to do to this, is just load up the air-to-air missiles and stuff like that. But that's it, folks. I just wanted to give you an update on what I'm doing with the Lead Sled, and it's flying beautifully. I've got over 100 flights. I think I mentioned that. And it's one of the most predictable flying airplanes I got, even at 8 pounds. And man, when you put the nose down at like 400 feet in the air and go full throttle, this thing just screams. I mean, it is really, really fun to fly. And I've never clocked how fast it goes, but it's just a blast. I did modify under the canopy and put my 2 guys in there. You know, basically Huey and Dewey's in there, and they've got ejection seats. I'm kidding. But, yeah, folks, you know, I think this Avanti is one of the greatest airplanes you can just screw around with and see what you can get it to do. It's so predictable. It's so, fast, and it does slow down. Now mine, you know, weighs 8 pounds now, so I don't know if you would say it slows down. But that's it, folks. I hope you enjoy my videos. Please like and subscribe and share. I am going to have a lot of video coming up on the Avanti. So rock on. Take care. See you next time.